Hi guys, today we're going to do a review of the Gerber Cohort folding knife. This is a manual folding knife. It's a budget knife. MSRP on the Cohort is $30. Price range, you're looking at about $15 to $30 depending on where you get it. You might get it cheaper, you might get it probably in the middle of that spectrum from eBay or somewhere. But I paid $10 for this. I know for a fact they're selling this at the Home Depot closest to my house. This one just happened to be, I got it on a deal because someone had screwed up the packaging on it. So I ended up picking this up for $10. Yeah, Blade HQ has this knife right now for $18.95. Some places like Knife Center, which I've been buying a lot of stuff from recently, they don't have it in stock. They have it listed as discontinued. So certain places around the web have them. So if you're really interested in this and your Home Depot doesn't carry this or you don't want to order it through them. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, we got an overall length of 6.875 inches. A blade length of 3 inches. Blade thickness is 0.11 of an inch. What is that? I think that's like 11/100ths of an inch. Your blade steel on this is Gerber's 7CR17 MOV. Yeah, it's nowhere stamped on here. You got to go to their website to figure that out. And look on the back of the packaging. I lost my packaging. It's somewhere in my room, or I threw it away because literally it was like ripped in half. Almost all the information wasn't even readable. But yeah, 7CR17 MOV on this, which is a Chinese equivalent to 440A stainless steel. We have a blade style of drop point. Obviously a plain edge, no serrations. We have a bead blasted finish on it. I don't know how well it's going to pick it up. Yeah, you can see it right there. Handle length of 3.875 inches, so close to 4-inch handle. Sorry for the birds in the background. I'm in the backyard. My sister's playing music inside. My grandma's on the phone, and the TV's going, so that might be a pretty screwed up video if I did it inside, but now we get to enjoy the birds. Handle thickness of 0.43, so 43/100ths of an inch, close to half an inch. Handle scale material, you're looking at aluminum. If you're really interested, the specific type, it's 6061 T6 aluminum. It has been anodized black. Frame and liner material is stainless steel. Weight on this knife is 2.6 ounces. Deployment method, as you probably already noticed, we got dual thumb studs for lefties and righties. Lock type is a liner lock. The model number on this knife is 31-001714. We do have a lanyard hole on there. I have not tried putting any paracord or anything through it, but I'm pretty sure it'll probably take at least one strand. Gutted for sure. We do have a removable pocket clip on here. Tip down only, as you can notice. That's set up for righties. This is a made in China knife, like a lot of the Gerber things nowadays, even though they're starting to make some USA made stuff. Average consumer rating on Amazon is about 3.5 to 3.6 out of 5. So now that we got the technical specs and everything out of the way, this knife, I've been using it for about like at least a month or so around the house EDC. So what does that consist of? Maybe opening a package, maybe opening a box, cutting stuff just to screw around with it because you're bored. Peeling a fruit, peeling an orange, peeling a lemon. Cutting some meat, cutting a hot dog for the dogs. just pretty much general around the house all-purpose sort of things. The pivot does get the pivot does move, like, in a way it develops a sort of a space between the pocket clip, and I wanted to take off the pocket clip, see how that went, and also wanted to adjust the blade play with this, because it does move a fair amount. Only horizontal. Let's see if I could hold that straight. You could kind of see it. This can move so much that you could literally hold it to one side and it won't deploy the lock. That's just one thing, and just screwing around with it that I've noticed. The finish, as you can see, it's got pretty marked up. This is from just the pocket clip hitting it every now and then, and I've been carrying this in the waistband of basketball shorts around the house, and maybe once or twice in the pocket. Yeah, probably the last 2 or 3 days I've had it in jean pockets. Getting dropped, and these scuffs right here, you could see those. That happened from just dropping on some tile and just sliding right across it. I don't know what I did, but I dropped it and it went sliding, and it went straight to the bathroom, and it hit the shower, the edge of the shower. So yeah, I don't know what I was doing and how that made it like about 10 to 15 feet sliding, but it scratched up. And dropping it, as you would expect, sort of messes up the finish, deforms the handle material. As the other ones that I house CDC and just do general, these budget ones that aren't my main EDC knife that I just take out and have on the dresser or in my pants, it has developed some surface rust, and that's because I take this with me and I have it in the bathroom when I take in a shower, so it gets wet. That'll simulate it getting wet, and this has gotten wet. It'll simulate, say, a humid environment, or if say you're a person that sweats a lot, or you have acidic body chemistry. Yeah, we're getting some surface rust just from being inside the bathroom with the shower going and not wiping it down after, just throwing it right in the waistband and going. Centering was a little bit off. It was a little bit off when I first got it. Now it's completely touching one scale, and if I move it, you'll hear it just snap right back. It just wants to stay right there. So I've tried adjusting that to see if I could remedy that. I had to get like 2 different Torx bits, one for each side, to hold it, and they got some, and then even then it didn't really work. Then I had to heat it up with the soldering iron to heat up the thread locker that they have on here. That stuff holds on this one, to be honest with you. The screw didn't want to come out without me heating that up, so yeah. And then when I also tried tightening the pocket clip, because this also moves, same thing. If I'll adjust this side will get adjusted. If I adjust this side will get adjusted. So if I'm trying to tighten this down, then this gets tightened, and then this gets super tight that you can't easily flick it open. So yeah, problems of a budget knife. But it has served me well. It's performed pretty good. The lock hasn't failed on me. I tried taking this apart completely, and I stopped at these 2 screws because these screws are extremely cheap. I didn't even try to apply the soldering iron on them. As you can see, it's sort of messed up. You can see that raised metal right there from it just getting stripped. You can see that. So the body screws on this are really low quality. As soon as I put them in, tried moving it, they started just stripping. So I just stopped and I just left it alone. Aside from that, yeah, no lock failures. For anyone that's interested, this is running on nylon or nylon washers or bushings, whatever you want to call them. One hand deployment. After a while, the lock does get a little bit sticky on this. Like, I actually cracked one of my nails. I don't want to sound like a sissy. Oh no, I cracked my nail. This will actually get pretty hard. Like, I'll go and have to get something to actually pry in there and disengage it this way, because once or twice you just pick it up coming home, once or twice flipping it open, you're gonna be pretty good. But after like maybe like 20 to 30 openings, it's probably gonna start feeling very gritty, and then it's gonna start getting really hard to unlock, and then you're actually gonna have to start using two hands, pushing really forcefully on the lock bar. And yeah, it's kind of not fun, especially if you got more sensitive nails. I do not, but yeah, maybe my nail cracking was just this knife telling me I should cut my nail. But yeah, it gets sticky. No lock failures. Open pillar construction. It has stainless steel standoffs, so it's gonna be pretty much easy for you to clean out in there. You could just use compressed air, blow in it, whatever you want to get the lint out, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Use cotton swabs, get that cleaned out. The rust is just surface. It's just a cosmetic issue. If someone really has a problem with their knife developing surface rust, they could take a Scotch-Brite pad, some abrasive metal polish, or even like say a Dremel, and just get that off. But yeah, for the $10, this is a pretty much good. This is a good. This isn't that bad. It doesn't have any grip, to be honest with you. And one thing that I thought it looked cool. It looks sleek. When you get this right out of the box, it looks nice, black and silver, cool. Maybe you could carry that around if you want a nice budget knife, or you're barely getting into knives and you want one that looks cool, go out on special occasions. Yeah, this looks cool. But what I thought was weird, that they had it in Home Depot with all the cutting tools, the razor blades, the axes, and all that in my Home Depot. I thought that was kind of weird, because in my mind, this is sort of saying, hey, this could handle that job. And yeah, it could handle a cutting job. It could cut whatever you need to, no problem. But it will lose the edge, and that's a whole different story. But the problem that I'm seeing with thinking why this being in there is sort of weird is because these scales are completely smooth. There's no grip except for the jimping that's on this on the liner lock. And aside from this choil right here, there's no jimping on it, and smooth. When this knife is wet, if it gets wet on the workplace, it's pretty easy for it to slip right out of your hand if it gets stuck in something, or if you're not using your knife as it's supposed to be intended. You could lose grip, cut yourself, do something. So that's one problem that I see with it. It offers no grip. It's just purely, it just looks good for the money. So that's the one thing that I thought was weird, that they had this in that section at Home Depot. I think this is a pretty decent knife. For the money, yes. Probably, maybe, I'd probably give it, what? Probably 2.5 to 3 stars, probably, out of 5. Because it's pretty good for the money. If you could get this for 15 bucks, 16 bucks out there, go ahead. It's gonna be a nice workhorse, and I would much take this over the Pizota. It's a little bit bigger, and I prefer a thumb stud too, but yeah, the Pizota is a little bit superior in terms of edge material, that having 8CR13. But yeah, 2.5 out of 3 stars for this knife is what I'd probably give this thing. Again, we're knocking points off because it doesn't have any grip, substandard materials for body screws to be able to take it apart. And yeah, alright, thank you guys for stopping by. This is the review. Right after this, I'm gonna be filming cut performance with this, and I'm gonna also be doing another video on light. So right now I'm just gonna start, after this is done, I'm gonna do some testing, cutting different materials ranging from, say, a lemon all the way to paper, cardboard, and wood. So yeah, stay tuned. Thank you guys. Have a good one.